This is CHSTV News.
Good morning, Cathedral. I'm Kyle.
And I'm Rachel with your morning announcements for Tuesday, March 1st.
Let's start off our show with a message from Mr. Daly.
Good morning, Cathedral, and I appreciate your attention for a few announcements here on this Tuesday morning. I do have a few observations. I've been back now a month in school, and I do want to have some positive comments on the behavior of our students as well as some suggestions moving forward. I consider there to be much too many students in the hallways during announcements and during the morning prayer. Students, we start school at 8:30. You're expected to be in the classroom by 8:30 when that bell rings. You should be seated with your books prepared for work. Now, as students of Cathedral, you know, you're used to an 8:30 start time, but I know at Cardinal Newman, they start the day at 8 o'clock. I know at St. Jean de Brebeuf, they start the day at 8:15. So an 8:30 start time is something that a lot of the teenagers in Hamilton would really appreciate having. So I see no reason why students in those other schools can get to school half an hour or 15 minutes earlier than our start time. So make a commitment to yourself. I know it's a habitual thing. Make a habit of getting up on time, getting to class by 8:30, and I'm counting on that, and I'm looking for improvement in that regard over the next little while. I do want to echo the announcement from yesterday and thank especially Mr. Patarakia for the great work he did with those students who participated in the hackathon on the weekend, and congratulate all those boys who were recognized in the Hamilton Spectator yesterday and participated as the only high school group in the programming competition against a bunch of university graduates and adults, and they were very well done. But I do not, and I hope nobody does, take for granted the work of our teachers who volunteer in all our clubs and activities. And Mr. Padaraki has shown extreme dedication to those boys. So thank you, sir, for that, your time and effort in that regard. Students, you know that today and tomorrow is our registration day. So today is grade 9s and 12s. Again, we're asking that you have your option sheet printed out and your $40 activity fee. It is vital for the planning of our school that we get those option sheets in. If the $40 fee is an issue for you and your family, if you could please see an administrator. We can make a payment plan or make some arrangements in that regard, but we do need those option sheets in as soon as possible. It helps us to plan for next year, and it helps us decide what classes we're going to run and get you the classes you need. So it's grades 9s and 12s today. You'll be called down in period 1, and tomorrow is grades 10 and 11. And obviously, if someone in grade 9 and 12 has forgotten today, please remember, put a reminder in your phone or something so that you remember to bring your option sheet tomorrow. Yesterday, we had some visitors to school who were granting one of our students a scholarship, who I'm going to recognize the next time I'm on the announcements. A former teacher here, Mr. Lamparski, and his daughter, who's a teacher at another school. And when I saw them, the first thing they said to me was, "Oh, here we are, we're back at Cathedral. The kids are opening doors for us and being so polite." And that's just something that visitors to our school totally expect and talk about to me, and it makes me very happy and proud to know that when visitors come in the building and are here for, you know, obviously a good purpose, they always recognize the politeness and the genuine kindness of our students. So I applaud you, students, for that, and ask you to continue doing that. A reminder to students that our uniform policy is always in effect, and teachers, if you could take a moment and look around your classrooms and make sure that all students are in uniform. We did have a slight incident yesterday where a stranger was in the building for a moment, and that person was out of uniform. And students, I want you to remember, the uniform, it unites us. It's a source of pride for us. All of us look the same when we're wearing our uniform, whether we have a ton of money or not. It identifies us as Cathedral, and you should be very proud to wear that uniform. But another main issue with the uniform is the safety issue. If we've got a bunch of kids wearing hoods on the 3rd floor, and suddenly we have a stranger in the building, if that person's wearing hoods, suddenly, if everyone's out of uniform, we can't identify the stranger right away. And anytime we've had a disturbance in any of our Catholic schools, and we've had to call in police, they always comment on how lucky we are to have the uniform, because strangers to our community automatically stand out. But that only works if we stay diligent to the uniform. So we're pretty understanding if you're going to a portable, you may have a sweater to handle the cold. But there is absolutely no excuse to be on the 3rd floor out of uniform. And again, you shouldn't have to be reminded to wear the Cathedral uniform with pride. So I expect to see improvement in that regard. As well, please remember, students, when the teachers are in the hallways, whether they're supply teachers or our regular staff, we ask you to follow their direction. monitoring the halls for us. If they ask you to move along, hurry up, get out of your locker, get in uniform. Again, you're expected to follow the direction of those teachers. And if there's again, that's just an expectation we have here at school, and I think that's more than reasonable. I was at a meeting last week, and this is another very important thing. I meet occasionally with the community, students, administrators from other schools in the neighborhood, police, John Howard Society, and one of the things they mentioned was that there are students in downtown Hamilton, young people who feel like they're carrying weapons in their pockets and they think it's for protection. And I know there are maybe occasions where a student may think, well, they've got a Swiss Army knife in their pocket and they just carry it in their bag and they just use it, to cut their food or, as a tool when they need it. But I want to clearly remind students that there is never, ever a reason to have any kind of knife in your pocket, in your bag, in your locker, and you will be reminded that the lockers are the property of the school and can be searched at any time. And it would be a shame if somehow you innocently had something you didn't mean to have in your locker, in your bag, and it was found by one of us, and you'd be in a very, very serious amount of trouble. So a reminder to you, please, you do not even consider having any of those objects on your person during the day. And again, I encourage you students, we are looking for improvement in our attendance and our achievement here at school. Reminders to come to school every day, get your homework done, and hand everything in on time, and I know you'll be very successful, and take advantage of this great school community and all the wonderful teachers and support staff who are here to help you. And with that, I appreciate your attention, everyone, and have a great day.
Thanks, sir. As mentioned today, all grade 9s and 12s will be called to the form to register for the next school year, and tomorrow, all grade 10s and 11s will be called to the form to register. Please bring your printed course selection sheet and the $40 activity fee.
That your next payment is now due. If you haven't already done so, please see Mr. Walker as soon as possible with your payment. And this is a reminder to all co-op students that your March Integrative Seminar will be on Wednesday, March 9th, and not tomorrow, March 2nd. You will meet in the library.
All Gale Guides are reminded of their meeting taking place today right after school in room 328. And speaking of the Gale Guides, beginning tomorrow, students who wish to participate in the annual Gale Guides basketball tournament, dodgeball, can pick up registration forms from Mrs. Duarte. The dodgeball tournament takes place Friday, March 11th. Dodgeball teams will consist of 10 students, with at least 2 being from the opposite gender and with at least 2 grade 9 students. More information about the dodgeball tournament will be given to you tomorrow morning here on CHSTV News.
The deadline for the Focus on Youth Summer Employment Program has been extended. If you're still interested in working for the Focus on Youth program, see Mr. Nordoff in guidance as soon as possible.
All French immersion students who are helping with Kinball this Thursday, please listen up. At some point today, please go to room 306 and make sure that your name is on the sign-up sheet posted on the door. Bring a pen and sign next to your name to confirm your attendance. Merci from Madame Solly.
And speaking of Kinball, if you want to play Kinball this year, listen up. This Thursday, there will be the first tryout for Cathedral's teams. Please plan to attend, as you will have the Canadian National Women's Coach for running a clinic for participants. No experience is necessary. See Ms. McCabe if you have any questions.
Tonight's girls' rugby session has been canceled, but all girls are invited to the next technical training session on Thursday at 6 p.m. in the gym. Please dress appropriately and bring water. Questions can be directed to Ms. DiBiase in room 301.
Attention all senior badminton hopefuls. There will be a practice today at 4:15 in our gym. Please come prepared with the proper gym attire. See Mr. Chafe or Mr. Felice before the end of the school day if you have any questions.
Attention all volleyball players. If you played for Cathedral this year, you can order a hoodie or a crewneck sweatshirt. Please see Ms. McCabe or Ms. Rajic by Friday if you're interested. The cost is $45.20.
And lastly, all junior boys basketball players are asked to return their uniforms to Mr. DeClaudio in room 309 during period 5.
And those are all of your announcements for today, Cathedral.
Have a great day, Gales, and thanks for watching.
I can feel my face when I'm with you, but I love it, Oh, I can feel my face when I'm with you. she'll be the death of me.